Howdy guys, how's it going? So, been out hiking today. It is just a little bit after lunchtime and I'm very hungry and I got something kind of exciting today. So we have got a menu number 6 meal cold weather seafood chowder, which to my understanding is one of the most rare US MRE type meals. Once again, this is not necessarily an MRE because you have to add hot water. You can't just straight up eat it without a little bit of prep work. But we did a meal cold weather MRE review a couple weeks back, but that was just one of the standard breakfast menus. This one right here is interesting because it's the only seafood MRE, only seafood ration in the US lineup. So that alone makes it very unique. And it's just pretty uncommon because like the meal cold weathers in general are not, nearly as mass produced as like your brown packaged MREs. So we'll talk about the calorie count and things of that nature here in a minute because I got those details wrote down on this notepad, and a lot of those are the same, but for the sake of this, I'm sure a lot more people will see this due to the rarity of the seafood chowder menu. But let me show you guys what's inside. I just took and cut it open to break it down, make it a little bit smaller pack size, and I used Gorilla Tape because in the event you wanted to start a fire in order to boil your water to add to the meal, then Gorilla Tape makes a phenomenal fire starter. So up top, the way that I repacked this, I got the spoon. It fits perfectly in the horizontal fashion, so you can roll the top down. Then here we have got a marble pound cake. Rolled up here we have got soup, chicken flavored ramen noodles. That right there is, pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure everybody watching this has had ramen noodles before. Got ourselves a pack of the MRE crackers. Here is our accessory packet. We'll go through that in a second. And then here is our vacuum sealed freeze-dried main. And then finally in here we have ourselves a beverage powder, lemon lime flavored, which is really important in the Arctic conditions because people tend to not drink as much as they should. Whenever they're in cold weather, you're going to be burning a lot of calories. You need to reinvigorate your electrolytes, and that's what that bad boy is for. Okay, and then, so in the accessory packet, we got our napkin / toilet paper, got some sugar, MRE matches, little bottle of Tabasco sauce, moist towelette, Bill's brew coffee, chewing gum, and our creamer. And then today, to heat this up and prepare everything, I'm going to be using this British military BCB canteen cook set, like the MRE, this cook set, this mess tin, all this stuff come from MRE Mountain. So I'll make sure to link this stuff in case you guys are interested, because it is some pretty high quality gear that previously I was unaware of. But that is the top portion of your canteen set. And, there's your 1 liter canteen. You got your metal canteen cup. And then the main reason why I wanted to bring this particular cook set out today, the spoon does not come with it, or the spoon and sport doesn't. But this right here is a stove where you put your fuel cube down the bottom, put this down, and then the canteen cup sets perfectly, on top of that. So it's, very stable. And since I'm in the mountains on relatively uneven ground everywhere you go, that is going to be good to have. And then to boil the water, I'll be trying to use some of these Fire Dragon fuel cubes. Okay, so this main calls for 16 ounces of hot water, and it's a really good idea just to go ahead and get it boiling. Just so happens this one smart water bottle of mine, its full capacity is 33 ounces, and I've drunk almost exactly half of it, so that should get us right where we need to be. The stove set up right here. Put that fuel cube down in there. Go ahead and get our water ready to go. We can take and use an MRE match to get her going. So there you go. As you can see, that stove system works very well. It's only been on there like a minute, and we already got steam rolling off, because that really helps block any wind and lets all the heat and flame from that fuel cube, you know, be directed to that cup. A couple of interesting facts and things to mention about these is, one, you know, these meals right here are made and packaged by Mountain House for the mill cold weathers, and this is the only time you'll see a Mountain House in this type of pouch, because they was specifically made to military specifications for these cold weather rations, and it is a much more sturdy and robust feeling type of packaging than the ones you find in Walmart. And so other than that, these cold weather rations come in 12 different menus, and they include 2 rare ones, one being the seafood chowder and the other one being a turkey menu, and I also have that one. So we'll be doing a review of that turkey menu at some point relatively soon. It has extra drink mixes, like I mentioned before, to help with electrolyte intake. They have more calories because, you know, you'll be carrying more gear if you're trudging through snow and things of that nature. You're going to be just burning more calories. So these meals typically run right at 1,500 calories versus the 1,200 calorie count in your like brown packaged MREs. And these do require, you know, a good bit of water. Unlike like the brown packaged MREs, which you can just open and eat cold, you do have to rehydrate these because, you know, in sub-freezing temperatures, the regular MREs will just freeze and most likely burst. So you typically need around 34 ounces of water to rehydrate everything. So that right there just got done. We got her bubbling at the bottom. Well, I just accidentally ripped this one down the side, but not that big of a deal. I brought this mess tin because I wanted you guys to be able to see the contents of this. Normally you would fill this up, roll the top down, but I'm going to put it in this so you guys can actually get a look at what it's looking like. And this is the smaller of the mesh tin, so I hope it's actually big enough, because this looks like it's a pretty good sized portion. Looks like that's about the perfect size. We are on a bit of a downward slope here. And if you had the larger mess tin here, you could actually take and cover it up to help hold the heat and everything in, but this should be fine as long as it's chilling. Oh, that's hot. Yes, plenty hot. I don't know about putting the hot sauce in this because I need to taste it first, but just have to play that one by ear. And then for our noodles, I like the fact that this one has a fill line. I do wish that these bags right here had a fill line instead of just, you know, having you measure out the water, because depending on what type of vessel you have with you at the time, that might be difficult. But these are resealable, and we'll do that in a second. And so it's got the reconstitution time for this, 10 minutes. So I got that marked on my watch. So we'll get back to you whenever this right here is supposed to be fully rehydrated. And I just took and covered it with the empty MRE bag, just to help hold the heat in for now. Guess while we wait, we could actually get a taste this pound cake, because the pound cakes that I've got in MREs typically are pretty good. And that thing right there is moist. So yeah, now I really don't know what it means by marble pound cake, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what that flavor is supposed to be. It's really good though. Whatever they use to help, you know, preserve these, like any type of the cakes they put in these MREs, are very good. And that right there will go perfect with some coffee. If I had to guess, we'll probably just be using the MRE crackers in our chowder there. While we're waiting on the last few minutes, I have been hiking, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and mix up our beverage powder. And this one also has a fill line, so you can just take, and where this has a zipper, you can fill it up in the pouch to that fill line. And I mean, depending on, like the last one I had was grape, but I mean, I like mine to be a little bit more watered down, so I like to fully get it to the fill line, if not a little higher. But for the sake of the, because I've not had the lemon lime one, and I don't even know if I've had it before out of the MRE. Make sure that's sealed up good. Where this has a lot of powder and sugar and stuff in it, you do want to make sure that you shake this thing for a good minute or so to make sure everything gets mixed in and you don't get a mouthful of powder. Okay, so that should be good and shaken up. Now you can drink this out of the pouch, but with my experience, you tend to get it all over, like at least where I got a beard, it tends to just like run down the side of my face. So what I'm going to do is this British military mess kit comes with 2 cups. I think it's because, you know, they drink tea and all that stuff 24/7. And we got to use our metal cup again for heating the water for our noodles and our coffee. And there you can see I shook that for probably a minute and a half, and you still get a couple of like undissolved drink mix clumps in there, but it's just a nice lemon lime color. But you know what? It tastes really good. It tastes just like a sports drink. So, okay, so it's been 12 minutes, so this should be fully reconstituted. So we're going to give this a taste test and then probably open up these crackers and see if we're going to end up putting these in there and maybe even the hot sauce. I gotta say, that is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to thicken it up with some crackers. I don't think it needs all of it. Not that you was going to use them for anything else, really. And I'm going to take and add the Tabasco. I don't know if that's going to ruin it or not, but we got it, so let's use it just to add more flavor to the equation. I think I said this in the last video. I wished that they had black pepper in these. And also, I noticed they didn't give you any salt, which does surprise me a bit, because this actually wouldn't hurt. I mean, I'm sure being a Mountain House meal, it has a lot of sodium in it, but purely for flavor's sake, it wouldn't hurt. Oh yeah, the Tabasco and the crackers in there, game changer. Makes it 10 times better. Go ahead and just add the rest of that. And so right there is just an up close of what we end up with. And being able to eat it out of this mess tin is a lot more convenient than screwing around eating it out of the pouch, but either one is an option. Well, I mean, this actually is really good. This is a good sized portion once you add the crackers and everything else to it. But man, yeah, if you just had a heavy dose of black pepper. Well, I'm going to take and finish eating this, and then we'll move on to whatever's next. Probably the noodles, or we'll make coffee in that cake. That was very good. So now, I'm going to heat some water for our noodles and coffee. And I just took and rinsed this out with a little bit of water, because this right here takes up to the fill line. I want to just pour it straight in the canteen cup, honestly, just because I don't, to try to hold this and pour hot water in it. That should be good for the noodles. And then up to about right there. Should be enough for coffee. Plus you can add in a little bit of water afterwards. Many of these fuel tabs left. Get our coffee and our creamer and our black cup. You know, I think I'm actually just going to use this tin again, because that worked plenty good for the chowder. I just took some water from the canteen and give it a little rinse out. There's an ant in there now, so let's get rid of that. So there you go. You got some corn, peas, maybe some tomatoes. I don't know if that's tomato or peppers in there, but there you have it. Finishing rehydrating, we can have some coffee and pound cake. And there you go. These two things right here is what's meant to go together. No matter where I go, yellow jackets just show up out of nowhere. Okay, and it looks like our noodles and everything have rehydrated very well. We're left with a nice good little bit of broth, which, you know, in cold weather would be very welcome. Tastes like chicken flavored ramen. Even after a couple of extra minutes of letting it soak, the peas and corn are still a little bit on, when I say crunchy, it's not, I guess more on the upper scale end of crisp, I should say. But not bad at all. Well, that was a very filling lunch. You know, in this case, I finished the whole thing because, like I said, I've been hiking around. Very hungry, and that hit the nail right on the head. So if you ever get a chance to try one of these meal cold weather seafood chowder menus, I highly recommend doing so, because that was a good one. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Share the channel with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities or gear or even cooking, because, like, especially with cold weather rolling around, we'll be doing some probably dedicated cooking videos here, like, you know, out in the woods and at the wall tent. Continue to let me know what you guys want to see, and until the next one, adios.